Good evening. So glad to have you here. We gave away some beautiful sapphires today, and we got to watch the video. We hope you're watching. We hope you love it. And if you have a good experience with it, let us know. We want feedbacks. We'll give you more. We just want to distribute beautiful sapphire tender, a new kind of money. Spend it. Tell us you spent it. We'll give you more. Okay? I offer so much, and people should be taking me up on these offers. I really have been a little shocked that people go along with isolating me. It's actually not smart to. Have you figured out why? I have really great ideas and I have really great plans. So participating in the isolation of me and what I do is actually not in your best interests. It's important for people to get the larger perspective. I'm actually a really nice person. I'm not out to get anybody. It may seem like I am. I'm into my freedom. Anybody trying to control my life, I want them out of my life. But I don't care what they do. If I don't want them abusing children and animals though, and we have to deal with things anyway. So somebody got some beautiful jewelry today, and they seemed pretty excited about it. And I hope it made them feel good. And we're going to keep this going. And it's about issuing currency and thinking about the fact that money is whatever can buy you something you want. So if you have a beautiful tanster, it's worth something. It's worth something to somebody. It is money. And I'll issue digital currency against it so you can trade it online. And if you have any good experience with my money system, I'll give you more money. Why will I do that? Because I believe in this and this is important. I'm more than happy to do this. And I have turned myself into a very unique jeweler, and I am using the best materials, and my jewelry will definitely appreciate. There's no question about that. And the money that everybody's willing to kill and die for is an illusion conjured up out of criminal minds. And the only way they maintain the control of this money that they conjure up out of nothing is through organized crime and terrorism. And it's like a death-based money system that they are running. And everybody is willing to die and sell their souls for it. Okay? So that's why I'm a little bit outside. I'm framed as an extremist. I'm the one who's saying things that are true. And if that makes me an extremist, my feeling has always been then I don't belong here. And obviously I don't hide too much. And like Napoleon said, here I am. And I believe in that. Stand up for yourself. And no one should be isolating me. And anyone who wants to call me should be able to call me. And anyone who wants to talk to me should be able to talk to me. I shouldn't have this, I'm not going to say the spy agency, but there is a spy agency that predominates in this. And when they really started to put their invisible agents around me, I could really feel it. It's very creepy when they put you on their list of people that they have to shut down. It's a very creepy, let's call it an R spy system, an R global spy system. And these people are everywhere, like looking for populist leaders that might pop up in the future. And everything's about neutralizing populism and making sure that we don't interfere with this incredible rigged system that they've created for themselves, and how incredibly wonderful it is that they can not work and just scheme all day and then play tricks on us and lie to us and hire all these publicists to play all these sick games so we won't see them. This needs to stop. Every single day, I can't deal with all the little debates they come up with, all the stories they come up with. These are these are BS things. Okay, we should be helping each other and making art, making music, growing things. We should be taking care of ourselves. We should find out how to get electricity and plumbing to each other. We should do all kinds of things for each other, and we should make it our priority to help each other and make that the most important thing in our life, and watch how our lives will improve. That's why I do this. Am I happy? I'm happy about certain things, and a lot of things are going my way, a lot more than they were before I started doing this in 2014. In 2014, I had no career hope because I understood that organized crime runs everything. I understood that by 2014, like really clearly. I had no problem understanding that organized crime had bought the governments and all this stuff. By 2014, I know this, and it certainly is true. So I had no future because I wasn't going to join organized crime. So my option was embrace heroism, which I felt would get me killed very quickly. And the other one was just wait to die. And I was sick. And so those are my options, heroism or wait to die. And I went with heroism because I figured, why wait, you know? So that's what this project was about. It was about saying, look, I'll do what you want, God. Tell me what to do, I'll do it. That's fine. And I ended up much better off. I really did. I mean, I have these enemies, but they can we just deal with them? Please. Can we just deal with them? Please? Can we deal with them? That's what I'm here to ask everyone to do. Help me. Help me. Why can't you help me out? I do things for people. Help me. Save me from my enemies. They're horrible. They're your enemies as well. So why don't you neutralize them for my sake and for your sake? Like there's this medical device that we're supposed to do sacrificially for each other. And if we die, well, so be it. It's a death for each other. So it's framed as heroism. Don't you think that's interesting that this medical product is being framed as a heroic act? Doesn't that seem like it has something to do with me? There's a lot of things about this that just so happen to get me trapped in house arrest because I'll get framed as some sort of name that they came up with if I don't just line up for a Russian roulette situation. Listen, nobody should have been fooled by this at all. Just the people are so brainwashed and hypnotized and they get put into a panic and then they run around in a panic. None of this should have fooled anybody. That's what's so difficult about this. Oh, it's so shocking you don't believe the publicists. It's shocking that people do believe the publicists. How can you not see all of these fake people on the internet? They're fake. Anyway, that was my rant. And I found out something today. And that's why I'm on this rant. I am doing something very eccentric right now. I'm trying to prove that Elvis Costello, who I call Cohen, and sometimes Declan Napoleon, I think he's Napoleon. I'm sure he's Napoleon. I can't believe it, but I'm sure of it. And I think about it. I'm like, I know it's true, but I can't believe it. I know it's shocking, but I can prove it all the time. And I prove it to myself all the time. And I can prove it to you all the time. As shocking as it is. Anyway, so I'm doing every single thing within my power to understand this person who we all know is cryptic and confusing, and he won't tell you what his songs are about. It's the way he is. So it's really an interesting challenge to try to find the truth. He even dares you to not even try because his mind is full of disappearing ink. He opens the book with this. He's telling you, you'll never understand him. I don't believe that for a second. I think you will understand him. I think he's very understandable, actually. But he is confusing and he is cryptic and he is indirect sometimes. And it is a fun challenge to try to understand what he's saying. But if you study him like we have, you start to realize some things about him for sure. So I put up an interview. He's for sure compromised, unfortunately. That breaks my heart, and I think it breaks his heart as well. But I hope we can get him out of that. That's what I want. I want him to get out of that. It hurts me a lot that he is compromised, and I want him out of it. I want him to have, and this is what I want for him. I want him to have the great career that he should have, because I love his music. Oh, I'm gonna cry. Let him out. Just let him out. Just get him out of this, okay? He does not want to be in it. Just get him out of this, because I can't take it. He is trapped. These people are trapped. They betrayed us, and I put up a radio interview of him today, going along with the BS, and he knows how angry that gets me when he goes along with it. But he has to. And I want people to understand that these people don't really have a choice. They are working for organized crime. It's that simple. They are working for organized crime. And what does organized crime do when they don't get their way? It's that simple. I don't think it really is so complicated, so hard to understand. Anyway, so I put up a radio interview with him today on my blog, and he was going along with it. It just made me so mad. And I hate the lies, and that people have to go along with lies to have a career. I hate this, and that's why I fight it, and I hate seeing him in this situation, because I do know it's Napoleon, and it's why it's so horrible for me to see Napoleon like this. Get him out. Please get him out. Get him out. Get him out. Get him out. He shouldn't be in this position. I mean, it's like, this is such a crazy situation. But he's like locked in mafia world, and he has to get out. We have to get him out of there. He's not a bad person at all. So I learned today that he has if I understood correctly, he has a musical that he, I believe, wrote about. I'm not going to say what it is, but my perception of it, it's almost like a musical that would expose Trump as a charlatan, fake populist. I hope I'm right about that. I did look it up, and that's my understanding. And I most certainly have seen him on TV talking about this topic of, there's this old movie about this charlatan, fake populist. He doesn't use the word fake populist, but he's trying to tell people Trump is fake. And I know he's been doing this for years. I have been paying very little attention to him during the course of the last, 19 years. So really, it's been like 20 years that there's something vexing me. And I realize now that I really was picking up on something very vexing. And I couldn't put my finger on it, but I think I understand it better now. So the point is, it's almost like he's a musical exposing Trump. And then I've been saying, in a sense, and I've been saying for years that these financier people, let's just call them, have been doing cartwheels on Ferris wheels over the moon, trying to trick me into supporting Trump. And I marvel at them, the flips over rainbows that they do, trying to get me to support Trump. They have bribed, put me in books, again, flying Rolodexes of things that they have done. They even, so help me, if I understood this correctly, created a huge psyop in Germany involving lawyers just to trick me back into it. And then I saw people from the legislative bodies of Holland, of like actual European nations, being like, Trump's really not that bad. As if I heard it from Europeans, it would work. And that's not the first time they've tried this, if Europeans tell her, she'll believe it game. They think so little of us. They think we're idiots. They think I'm some kind of European wannabe, and that's why I do this. And if a European tells me to do something, I'll do it. And that's what's so funny, because Declan Napoleon's from England. Anyway, it's funny just how things work out. Anyway, so what does that tell you? And then this is another thing. that I did bring up on the blog today. Oh, suddenly the British government is so incredibly just into Cohen, wants to do everything for him. Just, it's just he's just at the top of their list suddenly. And I've been blacklisted for last couple of years, and I did a trial about the cartel situation of the British Empire as of 200 years ago. And I could, easily prove this is a government buying for drugs, buying for slavery, buying for you name it. If it's enslaving people and destroying lives with drugs, opium wars, hello, okay? They put Napoleon on like the opium route. Look it up. This is history, okay? So that government that I was talking about, there's like no law. It's this like pomp and circumstance, marching around with hats on and kilts, and then behind it's like all this crime. It's unbelievable. But I love the kilts. I love the hats. Believe me, I love that stuff. I think it's amazing. I love it, but there's a lot of crime behind it. That's the problem. So I might even be a huge fan of everything to do with England, except all the crime. So don't ever get me wrong. I, unfortunately for me, I am an Anglophile. That's the worst part. This is the worst part. Anybody can see that. But the crime, I don't like the crime. So if we could get like a ton of the crime out, we could love England. We could love England. It's great. They have so much going for them. Which I show all the time. They're amazing. They're amazing people. So we could get free. Come on, let's get free. Come on, Europe. Come on, England. Come on. They're always after you guys first. I'm here just to show you yourselves. This is you. You guys, you're the ones they're really after. We're smart. We can take care of ourselves. We don't have to be abused all the time. So my whole point is, it's like on the global scale that all of these insane games are being played just to create problems between me and Elvis Costello, Declan Napoleon, Cohen, man of many names. But the world is shaking to keep me away from this person. And this has been going on, I think, longer than I've thought. I'm realizing it. There's been a lot because I think is it possible they know that this is Napoleon and Hortense? Because they're doing everything possible to more get me to attack him. And I did attack him. But I will say I did attack him, but I feel I was supposed to attack him still, even though it was so hurtful. And I feel terrible how hurtful it was. But he needs to get free, and I did say a lot of things that maybe can get him free because it's as though blackmail, bribery, it's seduction. They use people to control other people. They use seductive people to control people like him. And what's going on is very obvious. So I don't even have to say it. So I want people to see that. They might know that we're Hortense and Napoleon. That might actually support my argument that we're Hortense and Napoleon. Because look at how much I've been showing you for years. They're trying to get me to support Trump. And he has a Trump expose musical. Oh, he just so happens to not be able to put on right now. Is that a coincidence? Watch the coincidences. Watch that they all kind of pile up in the same way. Okay. Anyway, so let's just go ahead and read a very small excerpt. I love that the book is written in these like little morsels and that it jumps around. I think that's so cool and it's so beautifully written. I love this book. I think it's amazing. I was going to do a whole thing about how Napoleon had love addiction. Let's just say that he did. And I'm going to get cut to the chase with that. And I'll read it tomorrow, hopefully. But I got a little too much worked up about this radio interview and the Trump thing. Because every day I see something else that they're doing to try to get us to fight. And I have this like righteous indignation, and they always try to trip that off. So they're always kind of like, he's a sellout. He's a sellout. Attack him. You know, that's kind of their favorite game, and that's what I did actually do. I did attack him for being a sellout repeatedly, and I'm sorry about that. It's funny, but that's really what makes me mad. And they know, but you have no choice. It's Monopoly, so it's Monopoly. I wasn't a sellout, and they blacklisted me. See what I mean? You have no option. You have no option. You can work with them, or you could get blacklisted. Those are your options. So I can't blame him for doing his best, and he wanted to have a career, and I hope he gets out. I hope we get him out, and then when he gets out, he can be the Moses, just like in the video. I think it's so funny. Um, every day I write the book, he's Moses in the video. It's so funny. I want him to be our Moses. I really do. I would love that. Set us free. Let's set him free, and then he'll set us free. I know he'll do it, but we have to set him free first. And that's why I'm doing all of this, because I believe in him, and I know he's a good person. I know for a fact that he is, and he just got caught up in a really bad situation, and we have to help him out, and he's going to help us out, and he knows how. He's a genius. He's the greatest. He's more than a songwriter. Anyway, I'm going to read a very short excerpt. We have to save each other. We have to save each other. All of us. It doesn't matter what BS debate story they're saying. I'm sick of them with these stories, okay? It's BS. It's all BS. The labels, the Republicans and Democrats, it's all BS. It's all BS. All of it. All of it. Not part of it. All of it. It's all BS. There's truth, but it's only to make the BS more convincing, okay? It's all BS. Everything. We have to move on. Okay, here's a short excerpt. 2. And they expect you to pick a career. It was an idiotic accident. No 17-year-old lad should die that way. I'd stop trying to pick an argument with the teacher, an ability that the other lads knew might spare us another 30 minutes of taking dictation of the philanthropic works of Jeremy Bentham. The prim little teacher closed the dog-eared university thesis from which he recited, rather than actually explaining anything, dismissed us with pursed, impatient lips, and headed for his lunch. We hurried down the shabby Georgian stairs and burst out onto the pavement for some less stifling air. My friend Tony Byrne spied the master already turning the key to his small, battered car, and called out, begging for a fast ride to the main school building, a mere 300 yards from the steps of the annex. Please, sir, me legs are tired. His comic wheedling plea softened the man's initial reluctance. The lad left the curb in a sprint. Probably didn't see the other car at all. None of us saw the first contact. All we heard was a dull thud, and turned to see Tony twisting in the air and making sickening contact with the tarmac. His head bounced and made a second agreement with the ground. He lay quite still. There was no blood. No one was screaming. Only sound of footsteps running away to summon help. In minutes, his skin turned a translucent tint of blue. I don't remember anyone crying. I don't remember anyone speaking. There was a siren in the distance. What a poet. Amazing. Anyway, so he's just a perfect writer out of nowhere. Amazing. Please, 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 everybody help each other, please. Set each other free, please. I don't blame anybody for anything. We've been under a horrible, 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 horrible system, and they turn us against each other, and they scare us, and they turn us into the worst versions of ourselves. And I do remember past lives. And, this isn't a fun world. Doesn't matter what century you're in. But the way they're treating us now, they're trying to make us crazy. So we can't get along with each other. And I'm just totally obsessed with my twin flame situation. I am actually not that aware. I'm just totally focused on this. And then my twin flame wants me to do certain things, and I don't even want to know what's. I don't want to know what's going on. I hate what's going on. I hate everything I see practically. So, and then my twin flame is constantly warring with his enemies. And then he says, "Oh, would you do this? Would you do that?" And that is my life. Okay. That's why I don't know what's going on. I have had it. I don't want to hear any more of it. I'm sick of it. And what I find out, I hate. So I'll just be here taking orders from my invisible twin flame situation. And that's why I'm doing this. I would not be doing this if for that. Anyway, so thank you so much for watching. And thank you for everything. Have a good evening.